is much lower than expected, because the AC thought that the strategy to use is to drive down voters' turnout by their shootings and thugging. So, unless it is a place where people are really desperate, and the people in the party were desperate to ensure that all their children from wherever they are came home to vote, and they were waiting to be killed on the queue rather than running away. And you can understand that they would rather be killed on the queue rather than running away. But in some places where they don't have that level of fanatical resolve, a lot of people couldn't vote. Some people ran away. So these figures are down from what it should be. I believe that those figures will actually have been higher than the 2003 figures, because we did also a lot of that. It would have been much higher than the 2003 figures. More like the 1999 figures. Yeah, it would have been more like the 1999 figures or a little over it. There is a second factor here, which is the home advantage. So the first factor, I believe we all understand, the OC has a beauty characteristic, and that was sustained. The second factor is no home advantage. We can flip to that. The home ground advantage for serious contenders of credence and credibility in their territorial base is a factor that is known to politics all over the world, not just in Ekiti. For example, in 1980, when Adelaide had a sweep of an election over Jimmy Carter, but that did not stop Jimmy Carter from winning in Georgia, his own base. He won Georgia, even if that was the only place where people could still show that Mr. Carter will appreciate you. He got it. He got his own base. And the last elections in the US, I want you to go back and check how President Obama fared in Illinois, his own base, and whether there was a homeboy advantage or not. So it's not known to Nigeria. Well, of course, his opponent also won hands down in Arizona. So, but Americans perhaps are more truthful not to argue such things. Here, the loser will go and argue that they should not have the voter voting in the home base of the winner. And the loser will now argue that elections should be cancelled in the home base of the winner, which is still a dent on our democratic process. And we want to believe that if elections are cancelled for whatever reasons, anywhere in Nigeria at tribunal levels, rather than declare, maybe what we should do is to go and vote and have a voting there. We should carry out the election again, so that nobody is put at an unnecessary disadvantage as a result of cancellation of his or a strong vote. Let us go back to history a little bit. In 1979, those of us who are conversant with it, some of us are too young to remember, so those of us who remember, the Papa Chibadashi scored 97.5% in our local government. It's so big. Because the man of credibility, why we do not support him? In 1983, the same Papa scored 4% in our local government. In fact, I can add that same 1983, about who scored 20%, not 11%. And finally, show you so very active in politics. And a number of places, all of those people who believe the voting in those is wrong. Scored 25,697 votes in the career in 1991. And it was 94.5%. It wasn't wrong then. It was right. And Otumani Adebayo, who is also on the other side, one of those people who believe that the voting in those is wrong. I haven't heard him say it, but I believe he must be part of it. Scored 53,856 votes in the Republic of local government in 1999, 81% of the votes. It was right there. Let me tell you a story about 1999. A combination of Republic of local government and Ikole local government, where the governorship and the deputy governorship candidates of the AG came from, delivered over 100,000 votes. 38% of the total votes that AG got in the whole of it. 38%. It was all wrong there. And I will add another story. The morning of the second day after the elections, I was with Professor Adeni, and PDP people were coming from all over the place to bring stories. We were moving away from the country center. Then they did this. They carried machines. Then I called Professor Adeni. Are we going to be sitting here all day listening to all these stories? If these people are not more than us in number, how come they drove us from? I said the figures may not be right, but the sentiment may be right. That even if it is one vote, these people may have beaten us. I said, I want him to take a stand, which I know he will take as a very, very decent man and a man who believes in the peace and progress of it. And he asked me essentially, what do you want us to do now? I said, why don't you make a release accepting this result so that nobody will fight about your result, and send a letter to Otumani Adebayo to congratulate him. I said, that's the way they do it. You civilize every places. You have operated here. You are the ones teaching us. And he said, okay, shall we go and do both and bring the letters from you to sign. I then went from Orange to Ado, a company of Dr. Tule Ajayi, then the state director of the office. We went to his office and we used the manual typewriter there to develop the statement for Professor Adeni accepting the result of the election and a letter of congratulations to me Adebayo. We brought both back to Prof and he signed both. And I sent the statement to the radio station. I gave them money that they should broadcast it every 15 minutes. So that nobody will go and die on another fighting for somebody who does not want anybody to die for him. And the letter was dispatched immediately to me Adebayo in the year. If Professor Adeni were half as desperate as some of these leaders are today, Ekiti will probably have another fire there. Ekiti will probably have another fire there. Because he has enough grants, you will see, to challenge the results. We will still show you more. To challenge the results, but he did not.